What to do with an inherited IRA from a parent. Now, this is a big one and the laws have changed. So stay tuned all the way to the end to make sure you do not miss one detail. The numbers have changed, the laws changed. Get a pen and paper. And even if you're not inheriting an IRA from your parents, maybe you set one up for your kids. So all y'all, as I say in the South, stay tuned. So I want to talk about three things. What's an IRA? What's an inherited IRA? Like, what are the definitions really? How does it work and what do you need to know about it? Because there's timelines and legal definitions to how much you can actually keep. And I got a whole bunch more to tell you. So again, pen and paper, as always. You know what I'd actually love? If you actually got like a YouTube journal and every day you could refer to the journal and just be taking notes in there, and then you get to your family conversation at night. So while I'm here, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I'm doing it a little early in my video, but you need to be here. There's so much information that I can't wait to share with you just to help you and your family along. I wrote the book, Make Your Kids Millionaires, became a bestseller in May of 2020 this year. You got to know all this information. So let's start with, again, the dictionary definition of what is an IRA. So what is an IRA? An IRA is an individual retirement account, a savings account with tax advantages that individuals can open and save and invest for the long term. And it can actually, an IRA can be traditional and actually be solo and owned by your own company, or you can put your money into, if you're an employee, of their 401k plans and then have another IRA. Anyone who's earned income can open an IRA, enjoy the tax benefits and the accounts these offer. Unlike a 401k though, right? The individual that opens the IRA is uninvolved typically with their employer, meaning that you can have both. Right? And I know a lot of our clients have both, right? They have a 401k, they have their own individual IRA plan. And that is inheritable, but there's new news. And I'm going to tell you that new news when I get to, how does it really work and what are you going to do about it? What's an inherited IRA? So an inherited IRA, again, by definition, is an individual retirement account open when you inherit a tax-advantaged retirement plan, including an IRA or retirement sponsor plan as a 401k, following the death of an owner. So do you have to be the spouse or a kid or even related? No, you can actually create the beneficiary to your best friend if you want. Anybody can be the beneficiary. You designate that when you open those accounts. So how do these IRAs work? Well, first of all, I think you all should get one. We have a whole amazing team that we've used for decades. They're a third-party company. They're amazing and they'll help you self-direct it. So if you go into a traditional firm, right, a Schwab, a Fidelity, any of them, they'll say they're self-directed, but the truth is you can only self-direct into their stock, like their products, right? Because they're broker-dealers. You can only invest into their products. You can't just go buy a piece of real estate. You can't do a business deal with me. You can't buy a business with it. You can't buy cattle with it. You can't buy gold with it. There's just a lot you can do when you self-direct these IRAs. That's just a little note to self. Again, why you need to be out on this channel learning all these things that you're just not told from the traditional financial spaces. So how does it work? Prior to the last few years, where there's been updates where these IRAs, you could actually continue them for generations, you have 10 years to actually move them. So I'm going to give you some legal, again, definitions, so I'm being super accurate about it. So if you inherit an IRA and you're the spouse or of the original owner, you actually have more choices than if you were a child or just a typical beneficiary. But you do only have 10 years, right, to move the product or the investment into like your own name and your own tax structure. So you've got to move it. As far as like moving the asset and transferring the assets, you'll have to talk to our third-party team about the exact legal details, because some of you are in very creative and interesting alternative investments, and you're gonna have to talk about how that's gonna work. A few things also in an IRA, they are only in a few states litigation proof. They actually could be protected by creditors if you're in the right states. Sometimes you actually, just like even in a divorce, they can be separated. So it is an asset that's at risk unless you have creditor protection. And for a lot of you, what I like more, and again, this is just me giving opinions and education, is having your company own a solo 401k and you have your company have the entity. So you have the actual structure of the entity protecting the asset and everything inside of it. The downside of IRAs and 401ks altogether, I'm just going to say this, is when you actually start having to take the minimum required distributions, you don't know what the tax structure is going to be like. So a lot of, my financial financial planner friends and insurance friends, say go to insurance, go to other annuities, go to other products, because if you put too much into a 401k and IRA and you're at the age where you have to take minimum required distributions, you're at the risk of whatever interest rate is in the nation at that point or in your country at that point. So you're kind of leaving it to chance to let the government take what they want in taxes as you take the distribution. I also, to that point, like Roth IRAs more than any of them, because even though you can only put in, $6,000 or $7,000 a year, depending on your age, all of the growth is tax-free, tax-deferred. So for example, cryptocurrency, you buy it low, right now super low, right? That actually does what a lot of experts think it's gonna do and go back up to the 80s and even hit 100,000, if not more. All of that growth is tax-free, tax-deferred. So you're gonna hear a lot of opinions about people saying it's just not enough to put away. Well, you gotta weigh your options and they're not all the same. See, I always, when I educate people, I always say when your strategy, what do you want in your life, meets tax and meets the law, it doesn't all work together. So then you have to make some very clear but educated decisions, and that's why I exist. So between me, the third party team that we use that can help you self-direct and educate you on IRAs, will give you all the fine details, including an HSA, right, which is a health savings account, which you probably want for you and your company to self-insure yourself. That's what wealthy people do. And you're here on this channel, again, hopefully you've subscribed by now, click the notification button, share it with your parents if you're gonna inherit, share it with your kids if you're gonna give them an inheritance. Don't create the surprise basket where no one knows what's going on or expect it of them to keep money through their lifetime. So, just to wrap up the video for this moment, I have 5 things that you absolutely need to know, so you want to write these down. And again, I'm taking this, very Webster approach to this video, so I want to give you accurate information. Spouses have the most leeway. You have to choose when to take the money. I would also be looking at your tax implication on that always, because a lot of people don't look at that enough. Look at the tax break if it's coming to you. If interest rates are coming down, wait to cash out if you can, because you're gonna have to pay interest on what you do take. If you improperly draft the trust, it can be super bad news that you won't even get to transfer. When people do trusts, which we're huge fans of, because that creates generational wealth, everything has to be disclosed and funded in the trust. And again, if this is a lot of vocabulary and content that you're like, what is she talking about? Go to AskLoral.com, ask me any question, make a request, and I will be out giving you more information on your videos. So I have a membership now. You can text me 24/7, talk to me twice a month, and let's get all this stuff set up. A lot of you are highly misinformed. You think a will's gonna handle it. It won't. You're going to probate. There's so many things that you know little parts about, but it's not the whole picture. So why I call our company Integrated Wealth. It's the integration of all these conversations for you and your family and what's going to be the most valuable for you. Now, a few other last ones. A Roth IRA, again, can keep you out of tax trouble. So make smart decisions. Go to AskLoral.com, stay in this conversation, and always go up to the search bar here on my channel. And if there's not a topic that you're wanting, put it in the comments. Say, hey, Laurel, make me a video about this. I'll be right back to you. Have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow.